Pawn on the 7th, rook pawns any key square by any route. Okay. If the pawn is on the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th rank, there are 3 key squares. Reach a key square and win. Usually, I mean, I guess there's only one technique to win here, and it's using the opposition. Let's see, if I go here, is he able to run up? No, so I'll go here. The pawn conveniently stops the king from approaching. I'll play one more pawn move, do the opposition again, pre-move this, pre-move that, and I'll get a rook. Wait, hold on. It says reach a key square and win. That's funny. Technically not the best move. Alright. If the pawn's on the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, key squares, right. Reach any key square. This position is a win for white no matter whose move it is. Fun fact. Taking the opposition over and over again is a key technique here. We've already seen this position. We'll get a queen this time. Safely promote my pawn. You got it. I can only go here. It's kind of a big hint to just show what the critical squares are and not have people derive it for themselves, but I guess they're catering to a pretty broad audience here. Two of my students reached a famous theoretical two pawns versus king position yesterday. It was kind of interesting to see them play it out. They were very stumped. Maybe I'll show it at the end if it's not in the module already. It's very famous, so I half expect it to be the case. I think I'll do this one, just so that it takes, I think, the least amount of time. It says if the pawn is on the 5th rank, there are 6 key squares. I guess that's an easy way of explaining it. 5th or 6th, there are 6 key squares. Just put your king on any of those squares and win. Cool. So in this one, I just squeeze them out right away. Easy peasy. Now you just have to check me with a queen. Alright, now this one, it says knight pawn on the 6th, exception numero uno. Well, this is a stalemate, so I wouldn't call it like an exception necessarily. So avoid the stalemate trick and win. Okay, this is pretty obvious. I mean, you just always have to take the opposition somehow. If you go here, it's bad because they can come here and your king's not close enough to stop king b6. So your hands are tied on this one. You have to switch sides, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, so let's say I go here. Yeah, it's a stalemate, so. No, it's good. Sometimes, even though I've seen these a million times, I look at them like I've never seen them before in my life. And I start to feel like a little bit crazy. It's kind of like how when you look at a word and you're like, is it really spelled like that? Even though you've been using that word for your entire life. Yeah. I don't know if that's relatable for anyone. Pretty sure that I can play king f6 here. Let's find out. Oh, I did the thing. Oops. I forgot to do the next step. Lol. Okay. Pawn on the 7th rank. Key squares are on the 7th and 8th rank that touch the pawn square. Reach a key square and win. Do we really need a lesson for this? Okay. Rook pawn numero uno. Rook pawn generally has 2 key squares. Alright, I don't like this key square thing. It's like There's too many layers of it where they don't explain that much. Um, the reason that none of these squares work is because there's this trick where the king blocks you in so that you can only travel on these squares, which means you can never do this. You can never actually promote your pawn. So that's frustrating. So really, I think it's easier to explain this with the concept of shouldering, where you say that you just need to prevent their king from approaching you whatsoever to avoid any stalemate chance, any repetition chance. Anyway, hold the draw for 10 more moves. I want to be on these guys, it says. I don't know if that's strictly true. Let me think about it. It says an advanced rook pawn generally has two key squares, the two squares on the adjacent file that touch the promotion square. Reach a key square and win. Hey, they just copied this text, but this is about holding a draw. Wait, so am I playing white and wait, prevent black from reaching a key square? Oh, okay. I think my literacy just fell momentarily there. So let's get on one of those key squares. This concept is really easy to explain. You just put your king in the corner. If your king ever reaches the corner, they just can't squeeze you out. It's a complete waste of time. Why do I have to hold this draw for 4 more moves? I could already claim it on the board. Here, I'm going to use the opposition. Yeah, opposition. You'll never ever reach the other side. All right, cool. It's done. So it says, with the king and pawn versus a lone king, it is important to get the attacking king to a key square, and the path to a key square is not always direct. Well, on this one, if I go straight here, they're going to obviously reach before me, so I have to go this way. And I don't want to step right here because then they'll have the opposition. So I want to go here and here. And take the opposition again because that's traditional. And do it again and again as we've already done. Starting to fall asleep here, but it's nice to be able to do these in your sleep. All right, so that's done. Then it says opposition and 7th rank rook pawn versus a queen. It'd be nice if they did more of these. There's really 18 just for the rook pawn. Even the bishop pawn is a draw. All right, so let's check this out. Opposition. Yeah, I have the opposition now. All right, so it explains direct opposition down here, which you can explain in a variety of ways. But I like to explain it as kind of like a chess football. We're just going to bully that king, make him go away from the important places. And we want to get this red carpet position where the pawn is marching to its coronation ceremony. Dancing queen. Obama eat my change. That's a good quote. You like it? Thanks. It's what's his name? The guy who said that. He wrote a book about warfare. There's a German guy. Can't remember. All right, so I have to hold the draw. So basically, I always want to prevent their king from making progress. And if they ever try to squeeze me out using their pawn, this is a ridiculous attempt. Come on, better than this. I think they should 15 more moves. Oh my god, they got to work on this. Maybe I should write them a letter. But I'm gonna just run over here. Just get this over with. Let's run over here. All right, thank goodness. Anyway. Yeah, there is no proportional response in war. It's just all ugly. It's all war. It's all awful. I have some more quotes that are like that from this, what's his name? I keep forgetting. Can't believe it. Clausewitz, this guy. Oh, this is from one of our users. Let me spam this quote command a couple times. That's a Tarash quote. That's me. That's a reference to a song. This one, I can't remember who said that. Someone witty. Yeah, I've got a few of these Clausewitz quotes that are all about war and how there's no such thing as like I think one of the quotes, I might not have added it in because it was too long. One of the quotes from Clausewitz is that it's basically the summary is if you hear a story about warfare that sounds like it has any kind of moral or any kind of glimmer of hope, it's necessarily false. War is just hideously ugly. It's like the greatest atrocity of mankind. I think all of the awful things about the human race can be boiled down as forms of waste. Like murder is waste of life. Theft is actually kind of like waste of utility, if you think about it. This one I still need to take with the pawn, because I can take the opposition. Boom. It's too late. The damage is done. And this is a knight pawn, so we gotta say knighty knight to their king. Let's see. Well, I can make a couple pawn moves. Take the opposition again. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, it wins. Boom. It's important to be able to do all these things in your sleep. Let's see. I think that utilitarianism is a pretty relatable way of thinking. That's why I sometimes use it when I'm discussing things like this with people because even if we disagree on some fundamental moral truths, then utilitarianism really does speak to the masses. Let's do this one. All right, got him. Oh, I forgot about it was saying something about distant opposition. Oh wait, this is the first one. Okay. So distant opposition, basically it means that you're going to maneuver for the opposition. It's kind of like when you and someone else are in a hallway and you're trying to go around each other, and even though you haven't actually come into contact yet, it's like they go right, you go right, you try to go left, they also go left at the same time. No one gets any progress. That's distant opposition. So I'm going to do this so that if they go here, I go here. Now, in this example, I think I should use the diagonal opposition because why do they keep making such a weak attempt at checkmating? I feel like if you're gonna make a module, 15 more moves, really? All right, what kind of geometric figure should I make now? I feel like if you're going to make a module like this, you need to make it do a particular kind of defense, the kind that's most testing for a human. Like, yeah, the computer knows it's a draw, so they're not going to do anything. Of course. He didn't prevent my plan to make a giant diamond. It's time for another quote. By the way, the song request feature still works. I completed my diamond, yay! Alright, cool. It's done. I wonder why that quote didn't go through. Something's slow, I can feel it. Alright, just in opposition. If we're on the same color, and it's their move, it's kind of like if it's an empty field, we're gonna have the opposition here. So let's do that. Opposition. Now he has to go one way and I duck the other way. I think now is the perfect time. Oh man, we both promote. Shoot. Try again. I did the opposition pretty well and then clowned it up by trying to do it as if I knew exactly what I was doing. So I should maintain the opposition, get as close as I can, prevent them from getting any pass pawn. There's no need to race here. There's several ways to take this pawn. It's not necessary. Now here, by the time they take this pawn, I'm going to be way over there. If there's only 2 files of separation, it doesn't really work very well. Why didn't the quote thing work? Anyway. If there's only 2 files of separation, like if, for example, my king is here and their king is right behind me, it's very likely that they're going to trap my king against the edge, like what we saw with the rook pawn example. But oh yeah, here's another Clausewitz quote, by the way. Um, so I think I'll just start running, unless they play something awful. Here, if I play b5, king b7, I'm not making progress. So I think now's the right time to start running wildly. I don't know why they're doing this. Such a weird defense. Like, yeah, you trap my king for one move, but I'm getting a queen easily. Well, I guess it's because they. I guess that's the longest way that they can prevent me from advancing this pawn and stay in the square of this pawn. That's actually kind of clever. It's too bad that it would never actually produce results. All right, cool. That's done. As a means to an end. Oh, the way that you request a song is with the this command that I just typed in. Exclam song request. Okay, so white can take direct opposition, but is that the best move? No, because we need to go over here. Duh. We're trying to get to that optimal position. King is always best like on a square like this. So doesn't even require any thought. After what is that phrase that they always use in like mathematics courses? Once you've convinced yourself by going over the proof at home. Easy to remember. All right, so this one, what is this? Exercise queen in front equals win. Okay, easy. Queen's in front. Now I win. Bring my king over. Have a party. Where